Final score from Arrowhead Stadium. The Kansas City Chiefs down the Dallas Cowboys in what was supposed to be a battle of the offensive juggernauts. Instead, the defenses reigned supreme on Sunday afternoon. A 10-point win for the Chiefs. They've now won 4 straight as the Dallas Cowboys fall to 7-3. Welcome in to the Globe Life Studios at the Star in Frisco. This is the First Word presented by Dr. Pepper alongside Barry Church, Nate Newton, and Isaiah Stanback. I'm Kyle Yeomans, where we break down, at least for the next couple of minutes, the Kansas City win over the Dallas Cowboys. And this was not what anybody anticipated. It was all talk about the offense. It was all talk about the quarterbacks. Neither quarterback really having a good day, and ultimately it's the defenses that reign supreme. Yeah, defenses definitely ran supreme this game. I was surprised because I thought going into this game it would be a shootout. I thought Dak Prescott would be able to go out there and match Mahomes blow for blow out there, but that wasn't the case. I don't think either of these guys had a passing touchdown the entire game. And defensively, I got to give my hats off to this D-line. They made it kind of hard back there for Mahomes and this offense as a whole, even without their 2 top dogs out there. So defensively, they played well, but offensively, you got to see that was extremely disappointing. Especially from the offensive line. I know we missed Tyron Smith out there, but Terrence Steele, he was doing his thing out there for the games beforehand. And this game, he just didn't show well at all. Neither did Collins on the right side. So it was disappointing offensively, but hey, gotta move past this one.
I felt that if our offensive line was not playing well, if not consistent, that we would have a long day. I always saw, when I watched film against Chris Jones and Frank Clark and those guys, man, and Ingram, I knew that they could affect the game, but I didn't know at this point. This guy come out with 3.5 sacks in Chris Jones. He wreaked havoc. He was in our quarterback face from the first snap. He was always under duress, Dak was. He was not sharp today. He was patterning his feet. It caught up with him. This is a game where you say, was Dak off? Yeah, his offensive line was off, and he was off with him.
Well, I think they just met the can man. And the can man was Chris Jones. Chris Jones made sure that Connor McGovern can get it. He made sure that Terrence Steele can get it. And he even went over to Zach Martin. He can get it. Listen up, this man single-handedly shut down this entire offense. He made it a terrorizing day for Dak Prescott and the rest of the offense. Obviously, we had a couple guys out. We had Gallup that didn't do much. CD went out. We were missing Coop. It just didn't go our way offensively. Defensively, actually didn't do too bad. I don't know if they did good or Kansas City just didn't convert on things. Either way, it was a low-scoring game. Ultimately, not the result that you want. I think you have to give a lot of credit to the defense because of the way that things started. Very early on, it very easily could have unraveled in the first half. And the fact that, they only gave up 3 points in the entire second half. I think the defense and Dan Quinn answered the bell after they were severely challenged in the first half of the ball game. But the offense just never woke up. And you mentioned it. There are built-in excuses for a game like this. No Tyron Smith, no Amari Cooper. CeeDee Lamb only played a half as he was out for the rest of the game with a potential concussion. There are built-in excuses, but either way, big games like this, you have to find a way to get it done. Yeah, you got to find a way to get it done, and they've been doing that so far this season, but when you go out there and you're Dak Prescott, he's off the way he is. The offensive line isn't blocking the way it should block. You got to make those plays as your receivers. And we've seen plenty of drop passes out there. Guys weren't blocking the way they needed to block. And it just seemed like it was a lackluster performance. I don't want to say they were sleepwalking out there, but the moment might have been too big for these guys. As we saw out there, a lot of drop passes. Dak was off, but it just might have been too big of a scene for this Cowboys offense.
When I look at a game like this right here, as we watching this game, I'm just not panicking because they have been there. It's something to say when you have been there. KC have been there. When they open the game up, they seem to be playing a lot faster, and forget who was not there. I'm talking about you have to raise your level of play when you're playing the best in the league. They started last week, KC, with the Las Vegas Raiders, and they just continue to build. They started 2 weeks ago with New York. They started to build. Now they're into their rhythm. They're doing just enough because they are the best to do just enough, and they won the game by 10 points. Anybody else will be chiming the bells. KC, we're like, they won the game.
We played 2 opponents this year where we were able to tell exactly what type of team we are, and that was Tampa Bay Buccaneers, Kansas City Chiefs. Reason being because these are 2 of the teams that have been Super Bowl champions over the last, 5-6 years?
Right.
These are the teams that have their core, their root players, right? Their core players from those championship teams are still present within those organizations. That's how we need to measure our team based against those guys, and that's obviously two of those teams. 2 of those losses. That's where we're at right now as an organization.
Yeah, it really does. It sets you back in terms of the expectations because a lot of the talk has been until you get there as an organization, you can't necessarily have those sky-high expectations. And I think today kind of tempered those. However, I think for the defense, like I said, you got to give a lot of credit for them. I think the defensive expectations are now raised because you just held a Kansas City offense that you guys just heralded as finding their rhythm over the last few weeks. They held them to 19 points and 3 points in that second half. Do you think this is something the defense can hold on to and take in some momentum for the next couple weeks?
Without a doubt. I mean, you just said it right there. They went into this game against one of the premier offenses in the National Football League. I know early in the season they were kind of shaky, but these last 3 games that they've won, they've been playing at a high caliber, especially last week. So this defense to go in there, no Tank Lawrence, no Randy Gregory, they went out there and they performed pretty well. The secondary kind of bottled up Tyreek Hill and Kelsey for the most part, and they were able to take the football away. And we can't say enough about Parsons. The way he's able to come off that edge, I mean, he is a pure demon out there. And I don't know. I mean, I love him at linebacker, but he's starting to show good stuff at this defensive end position. Hopefully when we get our recruits back in there, he can move back to linebacker, but he's playing a heck of a game so far.
Safeties tighten up in the second half. They start making plays. They start making tackles. Like you say, Parsons, that is what you need. That is what we've been searching for the last 4 or 5 years. We've been looking for that Parsons. When we needed a play, he came around the edge, got a sack, fumble. When we needed a play, those are the guys that you look forward to, man, because they rally your team. Now, Coach Dan Quinn, great job. You saw what happened in the first half. We was running around ragged with our head cut off. Second half, you bottled this up, man. You kept them to, 4 out of 12 on third downs. Hats off to you, Coach, and keep doing the job.
Micah Parsons has a lot of nicknames already within his rookie season, and I think we need to go ahead and add Tasmanian Devil to that, right? Emphasis on the Tasmanian side of things. He's an absolute terror. I'm with you, Barry. I like him at the second level, but, man, when we need him, he shows up. He almost blocked the punt as well today. He's all over the place. Defensively, these guys stepped up in the second half, and they made contested defensive plays. These guys made it hard for these guys to convert on these third downs, which is why Kansas City didn't do so well on third down. They weren't just dropping the ball. We were right in their hip pocket, and that's exactly the type of defense that they need going forward as we face further opponents.
And I think that's what hurts the most for Cowboys Nation in this loss is the defense gave your offense, which is supposed to be the strength of your team, plenty of opportunities to get in this ball game, and ultimately the offense came up short and just could not get it together. But hopefully they'll try to do that coming up on Thursday against the Las Vegas Raiders. That's going to do it for us here on The First Word. We leave you with a couple final stats. Just 276 total yards for the Cowboys. They do not find the end zone. Greg Zuerlein, 3 different occasions, he knocks it through the uprights. Despite 3 turnovers and despite really the fourth down conversion percentage for the Kansas City side of things, the defense did their job, the offense did not, and it results in a 19-9 loss. Thanks for joining us here from the Star in Frisco. That does it for The First Word.